ambition. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. I have a young black man from DC that we're going to be asking a couple of questions about his clothing brand and his journey being in business. So, there is so much conversation about success: make the money, build the business, become somebody, take care of your family, don't get distracted, don't fall behind. But we don't talk enough about all the pressure it comes with trying to be successful, especially when you're young, especially when you're a young black man trying to figure out who you are while feeling like you're supposed to already know where you're going. That's a deep one right there. But because ambition looks beautiful when you see the results, but what does it look like when you're carrying it? What does it cost your relationships, your peace, your confidence, your ability to admit that you just don't know sometimes when things don't work out? Or at what point does wanting more turn into never believing that what you've already done is enough? So today we're talking about the price of ambition. And I'm not having this conversation by myself. I'm joined today. How do you want me to pronounce your name? Because I know you just gave me your clothing brand, but can we have a name?
It's gonna be you can pronounce my name by J Marquise.
J. Marquise. Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is what you want to be recognized as you grow in the industry that you're in, right?
Absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So I'm gonna just use J so I don't chop nothing up because I might forget along the way. But today I'm joined by Jay, a young entrepreneur with big ambitions of his own. But instead of me telling everybody who you are, Jay, I want you to tell them. So welcome to NEATALK Network um, Business. Tell everybody who you are and what you're building currently.
Yes, ma'am. What's going on, Nia Talk? I'm J Marquise. I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm 31 years old. I started Medamco about 5.5 years ago.
Okay.
Basically, when I started Medamco, it was meant to be a family business.
Mm-hmm.
Medamco stands for Marquise and Monet, which is my middle name, of course, like I said, J Marquise, and my daughter's middle name, which is J Monet. So therefore, we hence Marquise and Monet. I wanted to go with not only just a street brand, but I wanted to actually create clothing that could be celebrated as if it was designer wear, where you didn't
Okay.
have to pay a top dollar to look good. You know what I mean? Um,
Okay.
that's
Okay. So how did you get into this space? Like how did you say, okay, this is an idea and I'm gonna follow through with execution? Because where I thought we were gonna go, I'm gonna just not even go there because I have questions for you because
okay.
the business on the Talk Network, my method to accomplishing business
Hmm.
is as simple as having a vision, an idea, a plan, and executing. And quite frankly, you already understand that because you had an idea, you
Yes,
put a
ma'am.
plan together. Well, first of all, you had a vision. You had then the idea came into fruition on how to plan it and you execute it. So, at what point in your life made you realize that you had the ability to do such thing? Did you grow up with a family that was in business or did you learn from somebody? Like how did this come into fruition for you?
I'm gonna go with. I'm actually gonna go with like my mom was like one of my biggest inspirations. Like, no, she
Ooh,
wasn't into like business or anything like that, but she always was into punctuality. You know what I mean?
okay.
So she emphasized that to us when to me and my sister when we were younger. Like, you can't be successful if you're not on time. You know what I mean? Some of us still struggle with time management, of course, but the main thing is she always wanted us to stand on our goals. Like if you had a goal to be somewhere at a certain time, you got to get there at that time. You know what I mean? So it's just like when you transfer that over into the business world, it's just like I have a plan. I know where I want to go with it, but you can't have a plan and no action behind it. So it's just always about like, you know what I mean?
Okay, okay, okay. I like that. That is a good one. So you
For sure.
basically took what you were taught and not even purposely, like obviously it's just genetics to just
Right.
kind of be, through. So did you go to college?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay, okay, okay. So what did you do before you started on the clothing brand?
So let's be honest, like I was just like a regular guy, like a regular worker. I had like a 9 to 5, I'm working in a warehouse,
Okay,
uh,
okay.
furniture warehouse. And I just came up with the idea one day, it was just like one of those days. I'll be honest, since we having real talk, like, how you just have one of those little smoking days. I'm just smoking, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I want to come up with something different that's different from everybody else what they're doing.
So
And
why do
then,
you say I guess I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm just gonna have to stop you because I mean, you're interesting, so I want to know.
okay, cool.
So because I often have these thoughts too. So I like to ask questions to kind of unravel how you think, because
Cool.
this might spark an idea in somebody else. So you said one day you was just chilling, vibing out, smoking. And just to be clear, smoking what?
You, I would just say we. We
I
keep
just
it like
gotta
that.
you
You know what
we
I'm
just gonna
saying?
say weed or was it weed?
Nothing different. Huh? It
What
was
was it?
hot.
What
It
you
was
smoke?
hot. It was hot.
Okay, okay, okay. Because we need to be clear. Because you don't have to do a very, very harsh drug to
Oh,
come
hell nah.
okay, I support you, okay? So anyways, okay,
For sure.
so you were smoking, and
Right.
so how many years had you been smoking before you allowed yourself to start dreaming and start feeling these like because you said smoking for a reason, so it obviously had you vibing out so that your mind can kind of just like go.
So prior to like, like being a clothing designer or stuff, so I always was like artist, like art. I was always into artistry. You know what I mean? I made music. I always knew how to draw, stuff like that. So it was just mainly just a part of little artistry. And I just feel as though like I always been influenced by like our city's culture. You know what I'm saying? From the clothing brands that came before me and stuff like that, and how people dress. So
Who
I just
inspired
always,
so
how you just thinking and you just like, what, I could come up with some cool shit too.
who inspired you though? Did you? Because I live heavily on this too.
Right.
Always try to find inspiration through somewhere, somebody, especially in the clothing business. Like I studied Zara and Forever 21, and this was back in like 2012 or something.
All right. So I'm gonna be real, right? So growing up, like, of course, you can get everything that you see, right? So
Okay.
what inspired me the most was being a window shopper. I'll be honest, like I'm gonna keep it so real. Like you'll go to like these like you'll go to like nice malls. Like my dad, he always wore like the Gucci's and that type of stuff. He's shopping at Saks Fifth. My mom, she's more like we'd go to Marshalls. We cool.
Okay.
So with like I go to my dad's house. He's wearing all these cool clothes. I want to wear these type of clothes too. But
Hmm.
mom is not paying for that stuff. So
Okay.
now you got like dad may get you a few things, but you still want it. So you finding ways to see like, oh, Burberry got a nice shirt. I like that. Or like we got brands called like Sabiato in our city, right? Which
Okay.
is a major brand over time. It's been a major brand and
Okay.
a staple to our city, right?
Okay.
So stuff like that, I would see these type of things like, oh, okay, I like stuff like that. But my mom would be like, oh boy, I ain't paying for that. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it's just like that
So
always was my inspiration with clothes.
you had the taste.
Yeah, you had the taste, but you just couldn't afford the flavor yet. You understand?
Okay, okay, okay. So you just created your own lane and was like, "Well, let me." So to
Exactly.
what extent, this is what I really wanted to talk to you about.
Okay, let's go.
Like everybody I- see, you taking me there cuz this is really passionate for me because this is what I come from. I never wanted to leave being in the industry of
Right.
that retail fashion sense. But how far do you really take it? So are you just designing? Like what are you tell me how did you make this plan actually come and where did you start and where you are now?
So I originally, right, I started off like my logo. I didn't even have a logo yet. So I started off, I can't even remember the website that I was using. I want to say it was like Rush Order Tees or something like that, right? And
Okay.
I would just create tees but never order them in, right?
Okay. Like
So
drop kind of.
yeah, yeah, not,
Okay.
not even a drop. It's just more like you just
Just create.
doodling, basically, just creating, right?
Okay. Okay.
So then I get to this point where I'm showing people the drawings, not the drawings, but I'm showing people these shirts, and they like, I like that. You should get those.
Mm,
Not me. I'm not even taking what I'm doing serious yet. You see what I'm saying? I'm just having fun, showing this stuff, and people are starting to like it. But I'm just all I got is a picture to show them at this point, right?
okay.
So then it's like, okay, now we gravitate to. I got my first shipment. I want to say I paid like I want to say like $800 for my first shipment ever.
What was the shipment? What was it? Like
It was
was it
just it was
a shirt
50
design?
shirts, 50 shirts. I had got them all screen printed. It was like three colors in it. Basic shirt to me, right?
Okay.
I had got those in, and I want to say I probably sold like 35 of them on my
Oh,
first
that's impressive.
35.
That's how did you sell them?
I hand to hand.
Okay.
I had uploaded a little picture on like Instagram with me wearing the shirt first, and then I had a couple of people DM me like, "Hey, I like that," and then of course you got your supportive family members and friends like that. So by the time I looked up, I had 35 sold. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
So I was cool. I was cool with that, but I still wasn't sure, right?
You wasn't
So
sure what.
I wasn't sure that this was my lane yet because one, I gotta pay the bills. This not paying the bills, but it did put a little couple dollars in my pocket, right? And I still got bills, and I had a newborn daughter at the time.
Okay.
So at the time, I'm thinking like, okay, it could work, but I still need to work, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Gotta get that cheese. So with the second, I want to say it was like the second design that I really kind of got a
T
drop in for. Did you still hear me?
was it a t-shirt design? The
Oh yeah,
second?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So the
Okay.
second one was I only got like I'm gonna say I only got 10 of these, right? I had went to a mall called Springfield Mall. Shout out to the guy in there. And this is what actually put the fuel in my back to actually really just be like, you know what, I'm really going to design clothes. So I walk in and I'm buying a pair of shoes, but he's more intrigued in the shirt that I got on.
Mhm.
He's like, hey man, what kind of shirt is that? And I'm like, I made it myself. I
Mhm.
didn't really have a full name for the company yet. It just had like it had Marquise and Monet, but I wasn't sure if that was it yet.
Okay.
But he's like, hey man, I like it. What does it say? And I tell him, he's like, it sounds rich. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. How do I get some of those? I only had those 10 that had came in, but
Mhm.
needless to say, I don't know if their store shut down or anything, but it was just a time where I couldn't make it back, and I didn't have his like contact information at the time, right?
Hey, you missed out on the opportunity second guessing yourself?
I
Oh
did,
my god.
I did. I'm
Oh
honest
my
about
god.
it. This was way early in my career, right?
This is crazy. See, this is a point that I need to
And
highlight.
this is why if you're listening to this, you should never if you go with it the first time, I promise you, 9 times out of 10, it's the one. You know what I mean? Like you always got to believe in yourself. Never second guess yourself. If you listen to this, never second guess. But it gets better though, right?
All right. I'm
All right,
following.
so boom. Now I'm getting to my third design. This third design was different from the other ones. I came up with like a rugby set. So this was like a
You
rugby
changed
shirt.
from the design. So dude said design was good. You went back the third time. How long was the stretch between when you talked to him and
I want to say I want to be honest. It probably was like let's say 3 months, right? I hadn't talked to this guy in 3 months or any 3 months.
no, no, no. I'm talking about from the time he said that to you to the time when you started your third design.
Oh, instantly. I
Oh,
I I create a lot of clothes. Like if even if I'm not like dropping them, I'm
Mm,
still always working.
done.
So that's always been my thing, right?
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm coming up with this rugby joint,
What is
and
that?
I'm a like it's like a long sleeve collar shirt, but it's
Okay.
kind of like a silky material. It kind of got it had numbers on it, ETs all over it. I wish I
Okay.
could show you a picture of it, but yeah, I come up with this one, and I get 50 pieces of this.
Okay.
Now with this one, mind you, I had the guy. He done already told me like, man, it looked like designer, right?
Mhm.
Boom. So I'm like, all right. I come up with a designer inspired piece. Like you got your polo rugbies and stuff like that. That was my inspiration for this one, right? I
Okay.
come out 50 pieces, three different colors. They all sold out.
Okay.
All sold out.
But
Instantly. Like it was probably
you
within
never
like a
got
week.
to get with that man though.
I did later on though.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm so
Later
sorry.
on. Later on. So now, mind you, I told you I still had to have a job. So I'm working. And I happen to work by this mall now.
Mhm.
I happen to work by this mall. I go back in. I chop it up with the guy.
Oh,
He happens to be there. So we
okay.
chop it up. He's like, "Yeah, man. Right now we're not accepting no new clothes at this second. However, keep me in contact, and we still contact to this day. It's a good guy. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So
Arabic or something?
yep, Arabic guy.
Okay.
They always good people to me. They're great people. So
Okay.
yeah. Moving on. I would say a lot of in the beginning. I did a lot of second guessing Nia, like because I had a lot going on. You know what I mean? I'm a
Why
new
did you
father. I feel like I gotta take care of everything. Is like I'm
okay,
second guessing.
I get what you're saying, but you second guess yourself.
Right.
Did you really second guess yourself, or were you just trying to make sure that you could handle what you needed to handle?
Um.
You know how you might not buy 100 pieces because you
Right.
need money to make sure that you still take care of your
And
daughter.
it was definitely situations like that. It was
Okay.
definitely situations like that.
Because
Like
it seemed like you believed in yourself, but being a man, this is the part right here where why I said young black men
right.
trying this to accomplish something because people don't understand when it comes to having a goal and still being able to maintain your life, and something has to take a sacrifice, either your business or yourself or your family that you're trying to take care of, and especially being a man and being black, you want to feel like you can provide for your family, even though
Absolutely.
you could have a plan to get y'all up on the mountain in a beautiful home, but because you are the person that everybody has to run to, you
You
don't
gotta make sacrifices.
you don't have that ability to just go and conquer your dreams freely. Oof.
Absolutely.
So tell me about how did you get to the point where you said this is what's gonna be, this is really big.
I so when I got to that point, right, I had completely stopped buying other people's designer clothes.
Okay.
I had completely went straight black t-shirts.
Okay.
Unbelievable. For I want to say like 2 years straight, I'm just creating. Only thing I'm wearing is either my stuff or I'm wearing like, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Okay.
wearing black t-shirts, plain black t-shirts from the corner
Okay.
store, right?
Okay.
So I'm locking in now. At this point, I'm locking in. I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. I got people that's liking my stuff. So then what I did was I had invested in a celebrity lady. Shout out to Morgan Westbrook. I had invested in her to do a promotion for me, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
now I'm getting people that's from whatever, wherever, whoever follows her. They started contacting me, and then
What year was this?
um, this was I want to say like 23, maybe
Okay.
22, 23, late 22, 23. So
Okay.
now I'm like, okay, now I'm gaining a little traction. Now I'm gaining the confidence to actually reach out to those type of people, like
Okay.
more celebrities. I'm reaching out to like your Rick Rosses and DC Young Flies and all that crazy stuff.
Okay.
So I just feel like at that one moment where I just felt like it was. it was just time. I already believed in myself. I just knew that this is what I really wanted to do.
So what changed in your life personally once your mindset geared or shifted like to this degree?
Um,
Did anything change in your life, your personal life? Because sometimes when you turn on that switch to say, this is what I believe in, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to be, sometimes it can affect, like, affect um certain dynamics in like in relationships. Like, did you have any
oh,
issues that
definitely, definitely,
like
definitely
friends
for
may not support
sure.
you, or your girlfriend or wife may not support you, or your family might not support you, and because you see people going to go buy other things and not supporting
Right.
you, that could create a bridge too. So how did things actually shift in your personal life once you shifted into that seat of, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm in this industry and this is what I want to do?
I'm gonna say it like this. I feel like a lot of people probably super second guess the situation. One, they not used to me being into stuff like that. Like, oh,
But you
most
always
people.
been creative though.
I've always been creative, but
Are they
nobody thought like he was gonna take a jump and just jump into fashion. Like, oh yeah, you know
not?
what I mean. So you did have those people that wasn't supportive.
So
Like we
you
can
was dusty?
go
So
for,
you
huh?
dusty? You was dusty?
Was I dusty? I mean, I went black
That's what
t-shirt for
I
2 years. Like
what
I went,
that means is that what is like, because why would somebody not, you said you from DC, you said
yeah.
y'all be trending out there, y'all know what to put, y'all be putting that shit on. So why would you said it, not me. I'm just listening to you.
Nah, for sure, for sure.
This is all I'm saying. You said they was shocked that I went into fashion.
Cause it's like I ain't gonna say I was dusty. I would say I would dress like an average street dude. You know what I mean? Like the black tee, the jeans, the t-shirt, just simple shit. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like
But
he's
you fancy
into some
now.
flashy shit.
You fancy now, huh?
I wouldn't even say that. I just dress well. I try to put it together a little bit
Now,
better. That's all.
this is what we don't do in this space. We pop our shit. If you doing something and you staying consistent
For
and you
sure.
putting that shit out there and it's that heat, I need for you to express it in that way.
Oh, it's for sure that heat, for sure. You
That's all
understand? It's
I
for sure that heat. You understand? If you want to turn on the thermostat, it's for sure that heat. You understand?
listen, be yourself, okay? Be yourself. If that shit I want to hear about. I ain't trying to sit here with nobody that's thinking that they regular and mediocre. You be putting
Nah,
that
hell nah.
shit on.
Yeah, I do it now. You understand? But
Okay, okay. So you created a brand,
yeah,
and how? So at first you said you were printing, just creating a design, and then they
yeah.
put it on the t-shirt. You didn't necessarily choose the fabric. You didn't actually communicate with anybody overseas. Like, this is something that you're doing in the U.S. at this point.
At the
What?
first, in the beginning,
Okay,
for sure.
so what route? Because I've been to China.
Hmm.
First time I went back in 2015, and
How
when I,
was that?
oh my God, it really elevated my business t like 100 times more than it would have been if I did not have these connections.
That's
Because
true.
when I first went, I went to a fair, it's called a Canton Fair. That's where I first went. Um
Okay.
and you meet a lot of vendors. So I hired a translator too when I first got there. But I was already doing a lot of business back and forth with people in China that I never met before. So once I go over here, I go to this Canton Fair, and you have to look this up because that's a place you might want to go if you're taking this business that serious. But you go to the Canton Fair, and there's a multitude of people, factories, distributors, selling all types of things that you never would even think. So like
Right.
you have you have the buttons on the clothes, you have the rhinestones, you have the zippers, you have the kind of zippers, you have buttons, you have different fabrics and patches and stitching. And so this is the level I'm talking about when it comes to manufacturing your
Right.
own product to this degree. So, where are you now in the designing process?
So right now, I'll be honest, like I deal with like I got like manufacturers through like Alibaba, stuff like that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I ain't got to China yet, but I'm on the
Okay.
way.
Okay. Okay. So,
Sean
so
Lee, that's my lady right there. Sean Lee. We put it together. You understand? We get on that joint, we start talking. She be like, I'm gonna have it about 5 minutes. I'm gonna come back with a mock up. That shit be fire every time.
love it. I
I
love it.
got to get over there.
I love you. Gotta go see your people
For
because
sure.
that's how they know to treat you like priority. That's how they that's how you get it right on the first shipment because
Absolutely.
they know. See, this is what I want to tell you something about. Listen, this is my I used to eat, breathe, sleep in this was my passion, okay? So I'm so
Hmm.
happy to have you here. But when you go to China, it's about building that relationship for them to understand you and your mission because you got to think they dealing with a lot of people out there. They dealing with Walmart. They dealing with people, companies out in Australia or Denmark or uh U of A, U of E. So everybody's term analogy when it comes to quality is
Hmm.
different. So if you don't have the ability to communicate what it is you want to them, you can sometimes create a barrier where it stops your business from really being what it really could be, like because they don't know your market, they don't know
Exactly.
your customer, they don't know your price points, they don't know because you could have a fabric that looks like a Miri, right? But
Hmm.
that fabric could literally come in, like it could have that same print, but it could literally come in five different kinds of fabric. Does it make sense?
Absolutely.
And if you
Yeah, absolutely. Because they give you options like they ask you, do you want to go polyester? Are you going 100% cotton? Are you going velour? You know what I mean? Like these,
okay,
this the
okay,
stuff that like people, most designers, they like you just said, you go to your Chinese manufacturer, you're like, hey, I want to put together a t-shirt. But you never told them, okay, I want this to be a silk shirt, maybe 150 thread count. I don't know. I'm just throwing
okay.
out something out there. But you're not telling them anything, so you're not giving them a how can I say it? A nice board for them to paint the picture for. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right,
you're not
right.
giving them nothing to work with.
Exactly,
So you
exactly.
got to know your materials, and I can say I learned a lot through that. You know what I mean? They would send like pictures and stuff like that, or samples and things like that, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh damn, boy, I like how this feel and stuff like that. So
Okay,
that's
okay.
I definitely understand where you're coming from with that for sure.
Well, you may understand the people listening that want
Hmm.
in your shoes uh may not understand, and this is the part that because people come to me all the time, and I know people come to you now. How do I build my own clothing brand? What do I
Yes.
do? And it's like, I know you think you want to do this, but it's way deeper. Like sometimes you got to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning talking to your manufacturer.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta be understanding these tracking numbers. Sometimes you gotta understand first of all, you gotta understand logistics. You know, you gotta understand that if you get XYZ amount of shipment, it's gotta come through on a ship, or it has
Hmm.
to be DHL, or it has to come through this, or you
They give
know,
you three options:
they give you multiple
land and sea.
and the minimum the MOQs, the minimum quantity too. Like that's another thing. Like if you have a manufacturer, Jay, that
Hmm.
allows you a decent MOQ, that's huge too. So how is that? Like, I heard you say that she helps you do mock-up designs and stuff like
Right.
that. But how is it with the MOQ over there with your manufacturer?
With the MOQs usually, um no matter some of them say 100 pieces, or maybe some of them say 50, 25. It just depends on the product. However, I always go sample first. I
Mm-hmm.
always want to sample it. I'll tell them like, hey, I'll create it, let's sample it, let's see how it goes, and then I'll make the you know what I mean, the bulk or whatever like that. I never want to rush into like MOQs and go get 100 pieces and I didn't do any promo or anything for it. So that's how I deal with MOQs, just to be on the safe side. I'll create a piece and I'll bring in a sample, maybe post a few pictures, and then we'll go back and talk to her that same night. Like, okay, we got most likely let's go 100 pieces short. I mean short right now, and then we'll come back and do 100 more pieces,
So
just
are
depending on the product.
so is your brand like a what category would you put your brand in?
To be honest, I make pieces for everything, but right now we've been attacking the streetwear market. So I was roughly say right now, Medamco is at a
Are
streetwear standpoint.
you of the streetwear market? Because I when every time when I've always did my research on streetwear, it always flops.
Mm.
So for me personally, if I mean, because can I be honest? Is that
Go
okay?
ahead. That's
Okay.
what we here for.
Don't be mad, because sometimes. But so what I was gonna say is that I would do my research, right?
Right.
And I mean, I'm talking about you talking to somebody who lived this shit, okay? I did
Okay.
over
Pop
7
your shit, Nia. Okay. Pop your shit.
seriously, I did over 7 figures a year, but I focused mainly on marketing in other markets other than just the USA. And I
Right.
want to get into that too because I feel like that since you're online, advertising and building relationships with in other markets, like, because 70% of my business was international.
Right.
And it was because I think it was because I traveled to China. It just kind of gave me that click, like, oh, I can sell to people in United Kingdom when people in the USA are asleep. So I
And that's
need
crazy because I be feeling like the same. I feel the same way. You know what I
so,
mean? But go
so
ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear some more.
that's what really took me there. That's why I say you gotta get to China. You gotta get your feet on the ground because it will open up your mind to actually just seeing, like, okay, I could do this on this level and you won't feel as much pressure as being uh amongst just these small group of brands like Amiri. So that's what I was asking. Like,
For
I guess
sure.
streetwear, but when I say I understand there's different tiers. You have streetwear, and then you have and within streetwear you have PRP, you have Amiri, you have all, but like some of these brands, they be going out of
They
style.
do. They do.
And that's and something that I noticed I had went to, I love men's clothing, first of all, let me say that. Men
Okay.
have the highest quality out there. It is so I love men's clothing. So I want to say congrats on doing that part. But streetwear, if you look at Sean John, you look at Rockaware, you look at all these brands, but I want to specifically highlight Amiri because when I
Hmm.
went to Nordstrom's out here in Scottsdale, I noticed that they upped the quality in their material, and they were kind of competing with Casablanca. Like, the quality was kind of looking a little nicer than even Casablanca.
Right.
And so I was thinking, like, okay, Amiri is bringing in designers that is understanding where they desire for the brand to go for the future and not just staying feet on the ground on what's making them money today. They're elevating,
Right.
right? So, but with streetwear, it's hard for brands to elevate because they're not bringing in fresh designers. So, to me, I think that you have a lot of work on your behalf being part of streetwear
Hmm.
because trends change every goddamn day.
Nah, for sure. So look, I'll put it like this. I'm kind of make a mixture of all clothes. Like my when I do fashion shows and things like that, I
Mhm.
never go just completely streetwear. I always bring up like a dress for the ladies, formal type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very versatile, but however, like where I am right now, as far as maybe hand to hand or if we would say storefront, but actually it's still not a storefront just yet.
Mhm.
Most people are interacting with my streetwear because when I do drop those nice pieces like we talked about, um, most of the time it's like it's going to be a higher price than what they used to seeing. Now
Mm,
in our city, they you kind of it's a trendy thing. Like I said before, everybody believes they're a trendsetter. So if you catch on to, let's say you came out with a brand, right?
mhm.
And you hot, you going crazy in the city right now.
So
People,
you're saying
it go
go
like that with a Miri and everything else in our city. You know what I mean? You can be cool today, and they yelling at you tomorrow.
okay,
So
okay,
I just always try to keep something in the chamber. Like I say, I've been designing for 6 years, so I got a bunch of stuff. But mainly
uh,
right now, the t-shirts been going a little crazy, like the graphic tees and all that stuff.
so
So I
where are
kind
you
of,
trying to take this?
um, like I said before, I always wanted to be more so like a powerhouse, more so like your
That,
Amiris and your
that,
Gucci's and stuff
okay.
like that.
Like Gucci,
So,
because Gucci and Amiri still ain't the same.
right, that's a fact.
So
However, their names still till this day, from whenever they started till now,
you
is
know how
still
long
Gucci
Amiri
is a household
been
name.
going? Amiri been going for a long time before
Yeah,
we
Mike has
knew
been.
it was. So are you prepared? Are you prepared
Hmm.
to stay the course? And if you are prepared to stay the course, how do you plan to do that with still incorporating your life as a father, a black man, a cuz obviously like are you depending 100% solely on your brand right now?
Right now, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
with me, I would say always being able to take criticism. One,
Mhm.
I feel like you can't elevate without being able to take either constructive criticism or negative criticism.
But what
You
if
have
you're
to be able to
around
take both.
people? But what if you are around people where you are the best and nobody's better? How do you elevate and look outside to find more?
Yeah, since we popping our shit, I always feel like that no matter where I go, right?
Okay.
So no matter what brand is around, I always feel like I'm the best. However, to keep that going, you just always to me, I'm a motivator. I don't care if you think you got the best brand. I don't care if I think I got the best brand. No matter who's around, I want you to feel as though you can do it also.
Okay.
So I'm just to me, I feel like
So
I don't,
where are you going? What do you desire to be? What does your future look like with your clothing brand?
to
Honestly.
me, I
If there
desire
was no
to be the biggest.
if there was no money involved to stop you from being what you desire to be,
Right?
what would that be?
If no money was involved to stop me from desiring to what I would be, I would be the biggest clothing brand that this world will ever see. If I, it, because it's just my creativity. Me, I'm forever thinking. I'm a Gemini, so my mind is always rotating. Right? I just feel like I can always feel comfortable with coming up with something that the people will always enjoy.
In this scope of things though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In the
Are
scope
you
of things.
prepared or do you know what it takes to be that?
Um,
And even if you don't
I
make
wouldn't say I know completely. I wouldn't say I know completely. However, like I say, I'm always willing to learn more. So
what do
as
you
long as your brain never shuts down from
what do you
learning a new thing, go ahead. My
what
bad.
do you mean? What do you mean you don't know completely? You don't
Like I said, the clothing world always changes. Like we just spoke on, things change. I wouldn't I want to get this together first. I don't want to just sound crazy. I feel as though with myself and the way that I am, I
Mhm.
feel like I'm always going to have room for growth, and I'm always willing to accept what can help me grow. That's where I feel like it would keep me alive. And this, no matter if it's streetwear or fashion in general, I just feel like me being able to take criticism and grow, that's going
Mhm.
to always be able to play a forefront in my life.
So, but my question to you was what about when you're in spaces where there's no criticism? Cuz sometimes, we're around we're the best in our city. We're the best.
Hmm.
And there's nobody to give you criticism. Do you look outside and say, do you look for inspiration in other brands? Do you
Absolutely, absolutely. I look for inspiration in everything that I do. No
Okay.
matter if I'm traveling to a place. Hell,
Okay.
if I'm talking to Nia Talks, I take inspiration out of the little things or the larger things. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
um, even if it wasn't criticism around, I would just always be able to find some type of inspiration, no matter, because I feel like long as I move around and long as I can, try different things, or even if you eat new foods, that's an inspiration to you.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's
So
just finding inspiration out of small shit.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I love that. That is having a vision and being able to definitely dream,
For
uh,
sure.
and being humble enough to be able to look and say, "Oh, they doing that," but be confident enough to say, "I can do that too." So I like that.
Absolutely.
I definitely like that. But let's talk about the part people love to skip. How do you actually finance the building stage? Are you putting your own money into this? Are you reinvesting everything? Are you working while building? Are other people investing? Where does the money come from before the business starts producing enough money to support itself? And how do you decide what's worth spending money on? Because logistics and all of this matters too. Like you
Hmm.
could have a lot of fucking money, but if
Yeah.
you don't know where to put the money at, like you said, I did a 20 shirts, I did 50 shirts, I did this design, and this design ended up being the best design because a lot of people don't understand it's about having an eye for quality and knowing how to pick hot sellers.
Hmm.
Oh,
Absolutely.
they'll end up and have a lot of money and buy all this stock and be sitting somewhere looking stupid and think that they did not have the vision to properly execute when all they were missing was the ability to distinguish what a hot product was. Because all of these parts are skills that you're talking about. And this is why I'm loving this conversation so much because and I'm really clapping for you, honestly, because people give up when something doesn't go right, and not only that, you don't understand how valuable each aspect of this business that you're running or trying to build is, having the ability to believe in yourself, to have an idea, to say I'm a creator, to actually create things that people want, to actually have enough confidence to go out there and sell it, to actually be respected enough for people to even want to buy what you're selling.
For
All of
sure.
these things play a part because when you're starting, everything sounds important: a website, marketing, equipment, branding, employees, technology, legal stuff, advertising, a logo. But how do you know what actually deserves your money first? How have you spent?
that, that's that's a hard one, but it's really not. All right.
So
Um.
you have to tell me, have you spent money on something and later realized I didn't need that yet? Like, what's been your most expensive lesson so far?
mm, the most expensive
And
lesson,
I wanna
right?
say this too, I checked your website and it was not up and running, so you
I
need
know,
to,
I know, I know.
because I was like,
Don't
"Wow,
worry about that. I'll be back tonight. I'll be back tonight. It's
see,
just
no,
some
it
simple
doesn't
shit
go."
going on.
And this, I have to call you out on your shit.
Go ahead. Hey, I'm cool with that. It will be back this evening. Don't
Because
worry. But I appreciate you calling me out on that. I
listen,
appreciate
you
that.
told me I missed the opportunity when I went and I fucking, I didn't have no product to give that man.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Nah, for real.
Somebody might have been the movie Power. Designer,
Hmm.
clothing, director, person was probably looking for a brand that they could bring up. And they clicked on your page and you ain't got shit going on because the website down. I don't like shit like that. You know,
Nah, for real.
so this is why it's so important to keep your shit in order if this is what you truly want to do. And this is what makes me question people.
Hmm.
When I go and do my little research, I ain't even got to dig deep, and you ain't consistent with posting. You're not consistent with the message. I'm highly confused on the message. Your website ain't up. You don't got a domain. You don't have a professionally domained out. a email, a way for me to get in contact with you. It should never be difficult to make a purchase from you ever or to get no information. So that's why I want to know where you trying to go.
Nah,
Because
for sure.
people so I'm gonna go back. What's the most because I'm passionate about this, I'm sorry. But what's been your most expensive lesson so far, Jay?
My first expensive lesson was me going and not even like trying to make a website before I ever had sold a piece. That was my most expensive
How
thing. Like
much you pay for that?
I went through Shopify, paid for like a year or some shit like that at the time. That was like,
That was your most expensive
man,
lesson.
listen. It wasn't. That was the most expensive thing. Like now, I know how to manage it better. I know what to do now. But in the beginning, that was my most expensive thing. Like I was starting off small, so I would go like 10 shirts, 20 shirts, 50, but it was sales. So I never cared about, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
investing or anything like that. I knew I had to do that
Okay. So
for
I
sure.
hear what you're saying, but I really feel like that those are some non-negotiables. When
For
you
sure.
have a business, the first step is to you it's one of the first steps. You have to have a website before the product is even there. I don't care. Because you could literally just be out there living and for people to be able to find you. You know what
Yeah,
I
that's
mean?
a
So
fact. That's a
so
fact.
so you definitely always got to keep that out there. So that ain't too bad. You
Nah,
know,
for sure. I just never like I was new into business. Everything I learned is on my own. You know what I mean? So it's like I was new into everything. I hear and oh, you gotta have a website. I'm thinking like when I shop on the website myself, not on my website, but when I shop on other people's website, it's something that I could do, which is drop shipping, which I learned out later on in life. You know what
okay.
I mean? But for
Okay.
the beginning of the time, I didn't know. I'll be honest. I didn't know. I was new to this shit.
Well, drop shipping in your degree, I never thought about this either. Like when you do have a clothing brand, like
Mm-hmm.
you can actually pitch your clothing to uh like like these TV shows and
Right.
productions and stuff like that. So you could actually just have designs out there. You can create as many designs as you would like and
Right.
have them on your website and just maybe have that section be primarily for production. Like
Mm-hmm.
if somebody's having a video 4 months in advance, if you have personal shoppers that are looking for things out there, so if you are a creative,
Right.
it seems like that. And I'm echoing. I don't know what you just did to the phone. It's kind of, but if you would, I'm boom, I'm echoing. What did you do?
What I do? I ain't do nothing.
You put me on speakerphone.
No.
I don't know why it started echoing. Okay. So I just want to make sure that our episode doesn't mess up like my last one, but I don't know what I was saying, but you get what I'm saying though. You
Nah,
get
we was on the website and being able to for like like
okay.
TV shows to reach you and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I was giving you an idea. That's something that I feel like that would be lucrative for you being a creative because I think sometimes in business when we have an idea and we try to play every part of the business, we're not truly
Yeah.
skilled at every part and so we tend to
Absolutely.
lack. So if you could actually have the time to say, what am I really, really great at? And I'm really great at creating. So let me create as many pieces as I possibly can and just
Hmm.
put them all on the website.
Right.
So I think that might be cool too. But anyways, the business nobody sees. People see the logo, they see the Instagram, they see the announcement, they see the website. What they don't see, what
Is
are
the
you
product.
doing? What they don't see is what you do behind the scenes, the boring part of building the business, the frustrating part. What's the part that takes the most time for you as an entrepreneur?
Trying to be everything.
Mm,
I'm gonna be honest. Try to be everything. Like a one man team, it gotta be like that's what takes the most time. Like you try because you still learning the business world too. and you
Mhm.
still trying to progress through it as you learning. Like once you get into, I feel like once you start making content, consistency is everything. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So you can be trying to do all these thousand things, and you still you may be missing one thing. You might have forgot to do your content today, but you did everything else. But damn, I still gotta do content, or I
Mm.
still gotta package this order, or it's shit that you still gonna have to do regardless as a one man team. Now, if you got a couple people that's helping out, now you can distribute different jobs for people. Maybe it may run a little bit smoother, but I would say that was my hardest thing, like a one man team thing.
So are you no longer a woman team?
Oh, I'm still one man, one sound.
Okay,
One
okay,
man, one sound. I'm just a man figuring it out a little bit better than I was in the beginning.
okay, okay. So have you had days where you've worked all day and still felt like you accomplished nothing? And if
I
so,
feel like to be honest, as an entrepreneur, we all have days like that. Like plenty
okay.
of days where you feel like you done gave your all. You know what I mean? And those are the days that really build character to me.
Mhm.
You can give your all and feel like, oh, okay, I didn't do enough. But in reality, repetition is enough. If you do this every single day, this is what you want to do, you're
Mhm.
going to make it. It's going to become enough for you, and it's going to prosper more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So how do you measure progress when the money hasn't necessarily caught up?
How do you? That's a great question.
Cuz
That's a
you
great
said
question.
cuz you were basically like for me personally, like
Mm-hmm.
I measure it depends on what I'm doing, right? Like so if I am posting, I look at or if I pay for an advertisement, I measure the success on that campaign by a like, a follow, uh an impression. So I treat everything as a return on investment. But how do you measure progress when you're not making money? Because that's my way of doing it. It's not always a ching. Sometimes
Um,
it is a follow.
I would say Nia, how recently, right?
Mhm.
Without the money, I can go back as far as like when I first started. Like this is my second or third Instagram or something like that, right?
Mhm.
However, I can remember when I would just get like one like, two
Okay.
likes, maybe six views. Now I'm looking at certain ones they get like 24,000. I got
Okay.
like 900 followers. I was
Okay.
getting that before. Yeah, 20, and none of this shit is paid for. I promise you. All this
Okay.
is organic. That's how I measure my success right now. I have 900. I can go. Let me check my Instagram. And anybody can check it right now. This is guaranteed. I have
Instagram. What is
941 followers. I follow
Instagram
too
right now?
many damn people. Right?
Tell us your Instagram.
Oh, what's my Instagram? METMCO. Right?
Go follow him right now.
Madam Co. Right?
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so boom. Let's go with any of these posts. I have 900 followers. I'm looking at my one of these pinned ones. I just put this out. When was this? August 4th. It has 1,000. I went to Miami. It did 4.2K. Everybody was sharing it around the city. My last photo shoot,
So
6.5K.
are
I
you
have
pop
900 followers. I don't even know how many people seeing this.
are you popular in your city?
Girl, no.
Okay. Because you said liking it and sharing it around the city. What is that supposed to mean?
Because I had linked up with a guy. Shout out to Rich Motion. He's like a comedian in our city. We linked up on some genuine stuff. You know what I mean? It wasn't nobody had to pay anything or anything like that. I reached out. I was like, yo, I got some little pieces I want to put you in. And he like, shit, link up, and boom. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
we linked up, and after that, I got another guy. He does clothing in the city. He's a good guy. He
Mhm.
makes never act hard for respect clothing,
Mhm.
and I just started chopping it up, being seen a little bit more with like people that I already knew from like a past life,
Mhm.
but just I
So do
don't
you
know.
think that this is really going to where do you think that this is going to go? What is your dream like like not just I aspire to be the biggest in the world, but like paint that picture for me what that actually looks like. And cuz I want to understand, are you taking these necessary steps to be the biggest in the world?
Okay, so right now, as far as like what I've been doing recently, I do travel. So I travel and I do like little promotions and stuff like that. One of my promotions, I went to like New York. I'm in Marquise and Monet talking to Aki Way. You know what I'm saying? Getting them to make a sandwich or stuff like that, or going to New York doing fashion shows. What I like to do is I like to give the people a visual aspect of how Marquise and Monet should be worn or how you should feel about it. So now we may go and rent out a car. You know what I mean? Create a nice photo shoot. Um, I just feel like marketing and photo shoots and stuff like that. That's how
Mhm.
you gonna get to be the biggest. They can't see it
But
unless you put it out. You know what I mean? But you still
all
gotta do.
all that costs money though.
Yes,
So
it do.
how do you keep so when it isn't working, now let's
Right.
get into something people don't like admitting.
Go ahead.
How do you know when something isn't working? Because there's a thin line between I need to keep going and this idea isn't working and I need to change. How do you know the
Mm,
difference? How have you had to change anything about your original idea? Like how do you know when
I
this is just
did, I did, I did. So when I first, like I told you, I had made those two designs, and I went like that rugby look right after that third one,
Mhm,
and it was like at that point I realized like this, I don't, even though I don't want to do no round the way shit, like you know what I mean. No, I don't want to just create t-shirts or whatever. But the shit that I really do want to create, it costs money. So I'm spending more time at work than I'm spending time even making clothes.
mhm,
I'm spending more time trying to, come up with ends to do this and do that before I'm even making these nicer clothes or things like that. So I would say like when it all dries up, like man, you gotta go to work. You gotta already have a job or something just to get you started or just to keep you going because it's going to be days where your shit not selling.
mhm,
It's days when you know what I mean. Like you might ain't get 10 sales this week. You might get 20 sales in 2 weeks.
mm,
Maybe in 1 week. Next week you might get 15 sales. But you gotta know how to balance that. Like I
mm,
still go to work.
mhm,
I don't have no problem with still getting a job and still like that now. Do I solely like you know what I mean? Do I want to be living free off of my brand? Absolutely. But right now, hell no, you gotta put your boots on the ground. You still got kids, you still got bills. This shit ain't gonna pay a t-shirt every now and then ain't going to pay the bills every month.
mhm, mhm.
So sacrifices, baby.
So, are you willing to let the market change your vision? Like, have customers or the market ever shown you something different from what you were?
Absolutely. I would, like I said, I'm big on criticism. I love to hear it. No
Why do you
matter.
keep saying hear it? What if it just so what if you okay. I followed Zara because
Okay.
it was inspiration to me because as soon as something came off the runway, he was immediately making it. And
Mm-hmm.
so his ability to be able to execute fast is what made him go grow that. And majority of people in these spaces are men, especially even the ones that own the big women clothing brands.
For
But
sure.
he had the ability to execute fast. So when you are working on a you work a job, you have a
Mm-hmm.
family, you have kids, whatever, or a child, you have a regular life. So that means that you are, gearing everything you have towards the thing that keeps your life afloat. So
Right.
your business becomes into a hobby or something that's taking the back seat to your life. But when things take a back seat, you're not always equipped to move as fast as you would need to. So, say for instance, you've been working on a design
Mm-hmm.
with the designer probably for 2 weeks, 3 weeks because you sleep at night because you've been at work all day. Uh,
Okay.
So you're not able to communicate with the supplier on the same time zone because you need to wake up and go to work in the morning. So when you were working on a design, how long does it take you from idea to execution? And if you are in the middle of executing that idea when the fashion, because that shit changes like overnight.
Yes, it do.
You see something come out, somebody drop a brand, everybody's fly off this certain style, but you was working on some bell bottom jeans and them is out of style now.
Hey, that just happened to me recently. I swear, right? You remember the rhinestone epidemic we just had?
That we still have.
We
Yeah.
still have it, but it's fading, right? It's fading. It's dying down just a little bit, right? All
Uh-huh.
right. So when I was working, I was like, I do utility pole inspections. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So we go work with telecommunication poles and do inspections, making sure they're not falling over on people's houses and shit like that. Okay, that's a very demanding job. We travel and all type of shit, right?
Okay.
Um, Even with working on that, I was working on this piece that I was coming up with for the rhinestone epidemic, like I was saying. And by the time I want to say I worked on it probably like a little bit too late though. It was more like a hoodie, and then
Mm-hmm.
it was a shirt, and then it was supposed to be some sweatpants also. However, I'm not keeping up with the time because I'm working like a fucking dog when I'm at work, and then I get off. I just want to get some sleep, like we talked about, right?
Right,
I
right.
had went over time. I'm like shit, and it came like I'm gonna say it wasn't out of style. It was more like unattractive to me. It
Mm-hmm.
became unattractive to me as a designer. Like I'm making it and I didn't get it in yet. So and I don't really like it no more. So it was more like one of those type of things. But it does happen like that. When you get busy, shit happens and you be working on something and then maybe you don't even fucking like it by the time you finish doing whatever the hell you had to do and you get back to it, you put it on the back burner too much. Sometimes you don't even fucking like it.
Dang.
It
So
gets
how
like that.
so you are willing to shit,
Say that again. You went a
so
little low.
you are willing to adjust where you need to adjust.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
It's
Actually,
okay.
when we finish chopping it up though, like
Go ahead.
I know you took a little you took a what you call that? You checked it out a little bit, right? Give me
Yeah.
some pointers. I'll take those. We can work. You know what I mean? So I'm never shying away from somebody giving their honest opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So oh shoot. Okay. So building the person, I want to talk about something else that happens while building a business. The business starts exposing you, your discipline, your patience, your decision
Hmm.
making, your relationship with money, your ability to communicate, your ego, your consistency. So what has building the business exposed about you?
Um,
It could
I'm
be
gonna
good.
say it to me. I'm gonna be honest. Like me, I've always been like I get into these second guessing modes. You know what I mean? To most people, that's fuck that. That's procrastination, nigga. Let's keep it gangster, right? Let's keep it all the way trill, right?
But
I feel
sometimes,
like
sometimes going to the drawing board is not bad.
it can. It depends on how long you stay at the drawing board. Because if you already drew out your vision and this is what it is, why the
Right.
hell you still standing at the board?
You right. You right.
That's
You
how I feel about it, right? So
right. So
if
you
you
realized you needed to get better by
execution, execution.
okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Execution. That would be my biggest thing. Like it would expose like, okay, yeah, he has a great personality, right? And this is just like if you're doing a business deal with anyone, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, he's a great guy, but he's not punctual. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Or he's a great guy, but shit, he shows up with bad hygiene or whatever the fuck the case may be. You can be a great guy, but you gotta fall through on all your points.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
be about your business. That's just what it is. And if you still at the damn drawing board and you done drew up the vision already, you know what I mean? At
Right.
some point in time, they're gonna find somebody else that can draw up the vision and get it happening.
Yeah. So here comes somebody else and you talking about some damn, I had that idea. They stole my
Exactly.
ain't
Exactly.
nobody steal nothing. You taking all that.
For sure.
So
So
do you think you're just building a business or are you building yourself into somebody capable of running the business you're trying to create?
It's a little bit of both. It's a little
Are you
bit of
a
both.
big dog or you a puppy in this game?
It's
Which
a
one you
it's a
taking?
little bit of both. I'm gonna say
No,
I'm a
girl,
dog in training, right?
you making
I'm a dog in training, right? So look,
no, you the dog. You the
man,
big
listen, I'm the dog, but I still got a little training to do because you not I'm not perfect, right? So I'm not gonna say I'm
no,
already there.
no, 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 no,
Go
no,
with me, Nia. Talk to me.
no, black man.
Come on with it.
Listen, this is the part right here that's hellified important to me. This is like 80% of the business is the way you think about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh, you have to always know and feel it in your body that
For
you
sure.
are the best first, period. No second guessing. You are the big dog. You are it. Period. That's what
Right.
you need to know. You cannot be saying I'm a puppy in training. I'm half of this. I'm no. I'm all of this.
Yeah, for sure.
All it is. I'm everything that I need to be. I believe in this shit. I believe in myself. I got this. Don't second guess yourself. Because you said that was your flaw and throwing it up, trying to say, okay, I'm this, I'm a little bit of that. No, you have to be all of it. You have to eat, breathe, sleep. That's why they say Kobe was Kobe, Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jackson was Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan, and LeBron is LeBron.
For sure. For sure.
GOAT. I was the GOAT when I first came in. I'm only just a GOAT getting better.
For
I
sure.
ain't no puppy. I'm a big dog. And
Nah,
that's,
for sure.
you feel me?
I feel you all the way, Nia. I'm with you all the way, 100%.
And I just had to say that because, I heard you contradicting yourself again. And we do it unknowingly. And
Right.
when you're a one man team, it's hard to like we it's like that thing in your head. I had wrote this down today. It's that negative little thing in your head that it's like you being your biggest hater.
Yeah.
You have to big yourself up and believe in yourself 100% and know that ideas are answered prayers, so act on them very quickly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
know? So I don't want to keep you too long. We already been on for a whole entire hour. So I'm going to wrap it up and ask you a couple of questions.
That's cool.
For somebody watching this right now who has an idea sitting in their head, what should they do first? Not next month, not after they save $50,000, not once everything is perfect. What can they do now?
Hey, it's only one thing you can do, and that's go through with it.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
through with it. That's the one thing I can say. Like, it don't take $50,000 to get started. It take you to get started to get started. That's what it take.
Ooh, don't start cooking. Don't
Don't
start.
I come on. Don't let me start cooking. Don't start giving no recipes now. I start cooking.
And I like that. Hey, you heard me? I love it. I love a good cooking. So, if you had to start the business completely over from day one, what would you do differently, Jay?
If I had to start over from day one,
You still
I would
do?
I would seldomly focus on marketing, like marketing before anything else. I would solely focus on marketing and building the brand before I ever drop a piece. I would have one piece, but I'm focusing on marketing this one piece,
Mm, mm,
seeing if we could get it to the top. If we could scale one piece, we could scale a ton.
okay.
That's what I would think. That's what if I could start it all the way over from the beginning, I would focus on brand identity.
Okay. But it's not too late.
It's
And
not
brand
definitely.
all the time. Like you not knee deep. You see, the thing is that when you look at that's why I highly encourage you to find a big brand
Mm-hmm.
you can go do your history on, do your research on to see where they started, to see if they have a publication out there so that you can listen to them to see what steps they're taking now that maybe you can start from where they are now.
Right.
It's you don't I know you talked a lot about other smaller brands, but I think who you listen to is so important when you're in this space of building a business. You can't take this shit lightly.
For sure.
Really
You
have to,
damn sure can't do that.
man. And I know, I love y'all so much, but I have big dreams and aspirations. So I have to go where the big dreams and aspirations play out as a win
Hmm.
and not just these fucking ideas. Cause I see a lot of brands having ideas like yours. And while you
Right.
are really great at designing something at whatever level you're designing it at, you could be at a level of designing something where you're putting a lot of work into it, where you actually did go to China,
Right.
or you could, or went to Korea or whatever, or you could have a brand like yours that could take off overnight. So
Absolutely.
so it's just like you have to really put yourself in a position where you can have a guide on how to execute this thing. You
Hmm.
can't take it lightly being around small ass brands.
Nah,
If
for shit, sure. You got that shit right, for sure.
you want to be a big dog, you know? So I'm
That's why I
gonna
say I'm in training. I'm a big dog, but I'm in training.
I
Ain't
think
no old dog. I'm a big dog.
I don't think that you are in training. I think that you are the training. I think
Hmm.
that you are all that is, and you may not just not know it,
Hmm.
or me may be willing to accept it, because if you're doing everything by yourself, that makes me believe you don't really have a cheerleader like that. And when you don't have a cheerleader, like for me personally, I don't know how far I truly would have taken this thing if I did not have a cheerleader, like a
Hmm.
support, like true support that made me feel like that everything was possible.
Right.
And sometimes we really do need that.
Nah,
Sometimes
that's
we
a
need
fact
that.
right there. That's
Yeah,
definitely a fact.
yeah. So that's why I create this space for all people, but especially I love talking to black men because they don't really get the support that they truly deserve all the time.
For
And
sure.
I actually think there's something important about having conversations with entrepreneurs before we know the ending. Because normally we meet people after they win and then they tell us about the story backwards. But everything sounds intentional, everything makes every mistake becomes a lesson. Every decision
Absolutely. For
suddenly
sure.
makes every decision suddenly makes sense, but that's not what building looks like while you're inside of it. While you're building, you don't know the ending. You're making decisions, you're spending money, you're learning, you're getting things wrong, you're changing things, and you're betting on something that may exist clearly in your head before everybody else can see it.
For
That's
sure.
business. And maybe that's the real price of ambition. Being willing to build before you have proof that it is going to work. And
Yes, indeed. That's real right there. That's real as it get.
and thank you so much, Jay, for being here with me. And just to go over again, I want you to tell me what you're dropping. If you have any new drops, is the website going to be up? What's the website? And what can we look for?
The website is gonna be up. I'm coming out. Well, we going to September. I got a drop coming on September. It's a half camo joint. It's like a hoodie, outdoors type of joint. It's like a I'm taking them outdoors, but we on the street level, but we going all the way to the woods with it, right? One of
Okay.
them type of joints. So it's different.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey.
So these drops are gonna be like, this is the season
Yeah,
drop.
I got a whole fall drop coming. It's a whole fall drop. If you check out my Instagram, right now at METMCO,
Okay.
Medamco, you can see I got a little tab up there that's showing everything that's going to be dropping and coming across the fader, as well as it will be available on the website once I get it back together tonight.
Okay.
It'll be available. All the fall drop of 26, September 1st. Thank you, Nia. I appreciate you having me for sure.
Okay. If you could give a young man or a young entrepreneur, but most importantly, a young black man that may be 26 with the same idea you had, what would you
Mhm.
tell them?
Like I said before, if it's your idea, bro, run with it. Run with your idea, and don't take your time and build your dream before you building somebody else's working at a job. That's all I can say, bro. Build your dream, or you gonna build somebody else's.
Okay. Okay. So
Sure.
thank you so much for sharing this space with me today. And to all of you out there, thank you so much for listening to Business on NEATALK Network, a network of voices. And remember, vision, idea, plan, execute.